Okay, good morning. How are you doing today? It is another wonderful morning. Driving to work and just really hoping to not hit my mirror at the edge of my garage this morning. It looks like rain today, and honestly, I love me a rainy day. There's a song by Eddie Rabbitt called I Love a Rainy Night. And that song is incredible, but rainy days are also incredible. And I need some rain because I need to bolster my lawn a little more. It's got a lot of patches of dirt and stuff in it. And so I'm hoping my throat is driving me nuts this morning. I am sorry about that, but I feel like I'm about to cough again. Anyway, so yeah, I've got a whole bunch of like dandelions and dirt patches in my lawn, and I'm really hoping that I can start to get rid of that stuff. It's funny because when I first got into my own house, I was determined that I wasn't going to be one of those people who cared about stupid house things, as I would call them, like the quality of my lawn, for example. But as I've settled into my place and kind of made it my own, I have started to care more and more about those sorts of things. And so like whenever I go and cut my yard, I'm like, it's like I've got so many patches and dandelions in this darn yard of mine. And I've seeded it multiple times. So in order to pass my initial inspection, I had to make an effort to even start to grow a yard or grow grass. And so that was like the first like legit time that I really tried to grow grass, in that I put down a bunch of seed and a bunch of hay, and I continually watered the lawn hoping that grass would grow. And hey, there's me on the billboard. Finally, I haven't seen myself on the billboard in ages, but it was a good time. And with the hay and the watering and all that stuff, I did get like some major grass growth, but there's also like some major missed opportunity too. And so I'm just trying to like level it out more or less and just get grass kind of all over the place instead of having these patches of nothing in my yard. And if I could get rid of the dandelions, that would be great too. Those things are just like giant allergy pellets, and I don't like them. And so I have tried a multitude of different grass seeds, and I'm basically like chasing the rain, and whenever it rains, I go and seed my lawn so that it can hopefully get all mixed in there well and good. Excuse me. Today is the day of loud noises for you all because I've coughed several times, I've sneezed several times. My allergies are bugging me a little bit, I suspect. I went through and did like a toothpaste program for my allergies, and I haven't had like major symptoms in a while, but sometimes like in the mornings I will have like some nasal congestion or whatever, which is way better than what I used to have, which is like the entire death trap triangle of allergies. And I remember when I did my allergy test for the toothpaste, this was back in 19, and for anyone who hasn't had an allergy test before, they prick your forearms with a bunch of stuff that you could potentially be allergic to, and then they give it an hour or so for those pricks to kind of welt up, and then they measure the welts, and they said at the time that anything that was a 5mm welt was considered to be a severe allergy. And when they came to measure mine, they had like a trainee or somebody with them because she was super excited. She's like, oh my gosh, look at these welts. And so at any rate, I was like, this is not thrilling, this is miserable. Most of the allergic reactions that I had measured in a 15mm diameter or more. And so I was like, okay, if 5 is considered to be a severe allergy, what is 15? And like my worst one was like a 22. And I was like, what is 22? And so yeah, really bad allergies. And for years leading up to the toothpaste thing, I had like an 8-step program that I was doing just to keep my allergies under control. And I had prescription eye drops that I would take twice a day. And then I had prescription nasal spray that I would spray twice a day. And then I had prescription allergy medicine, which was like supposed to be max strength, and you're really only supposed to take it like once a day. And they had me taking that twice a day as well. And it was everything I could do just to keep my allergies at bay at that point. It wasn't really like, it wasn't complete relief, but it was better than nothing. And but worst of all, it was very expensive because all this stuff was prescription meds that I was taking. And so finally in 2019, I was like, that's it, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I've got to find a better solution, whether that be shots or whatever. And so I had heard that they had this toothpaste option available. And I was like, great, we can do the toothpaste because I brush my teeth twice a day anyway. And so I'll just do that. And with any luck, I will not have allergies anymore. And so I did that for a solid, they said that I only have to do it for like 3 months. And they also said that because my allergies were so bad, I'd probably have to re-up every 3 years or so. But I wound up doing it for like 6 months. And because my allergies were so bad, I wanted to be done with it. But here it is, 2024, and it's 5 years later, and I still have not had to re-up on these things yet. Like, I'm slightly tempted to re-up just for the sake of my own needing or wanting to do so, but I really don't know that I need to. And they say that it's supposed to be a permanent solution, but like obviously everybody is different, and like my allergies were incredibly harder hitting than most other people's, and so with all that considered, like it would be very difficult for them to be like, oh yeah, you could definitely just live off of this one-time deal forever. But I might re-up at some point in time and be like, okay, I lasted 5 years, let's do this again. And just keep doing it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And eventually never have to worry about it again. I mean, already my allergy symptoms have largely subsided since I have done that. And so that's awesome. And so I'm not really too concerned about it anymore. And I'm not taking anything either, because that was the other thing, is they said you probably still want to take your allergy medicine, you probably still want to keep doing that because it's not going to go away completely, but it will severely deaden the symptoms. And I haven't taken anything because I wanted to give it the hardest cold turkey test I could give it. And I was like, I'm not going to take a darn thing. I'm going to see how well it does. And I have not taken anything for the past several years, and I've done quite well for it. And so all in all, it's been a very good, a very fun, it's not fun solving your allergy problem, but it does feel good to solve your allergy problem. So, yeah. And like getting back to my grass issue, which was supposed to be the topic at hand, we got sidebarred into allergies, which is fine. It's a related topic. Every time I cut my grass, my allergies would flare up. That's why I dreaded cutting grass for so long, until eventually I just didn't have to do that anymore, or until my allergies stopped flaring up, I should say. But at any rate, yeah, so hopefully it's gonna rain today. I seeded my lawn several months ago. No, not months, days. Several days ago. I was gonna say, if I seeded it several months ago, it's a lost cause. I seeded it several days ago when it was supposed to rain. But I don't think it ever did wind up raining, and so some of that seed's probably still there. Some of it probably got eaten by the birds. But the last bit of seeding that I didn't really feel like actual seeding. It felt more like some sort of like lawn care. I went to Lowe's for a new battery for my lawnmower, and I got this, what I thought was grass seed while I was there. But I think it was something else because it doesn't look like any grass seed that I've laid before. And it said that it like thickens the lawn and then it kills off dandelions. And hopefully maybe it does do that. But I need something right now that's going to grow grass. And like I have a bunch of piles of like the chopped grass in my grass because people said that that like helped the grass grow if you chopped it up and left it there. But I don't know that it's helping at all. I feel like it's, if anything, suffocating what grass is actually there. But, and a lot of people were kind of laughing at the issue in its entirety, and they're like, it's like, Missouri, you're gonna grow grass. Like, I grow grass and I don't want grass. And you're over here, it's like, oh, I can't grow grass. And like right now I've had a struggle at growing grass. I got a lot of dandelions and weeds coming up, but not actual green grass. And like as far as I'm concerned, I'd just pave my whole front yard or put turf down or something because I just don't care that much to have a yard. But right now I do, and I need to do something with it. And so hopefully I can get it all nice and thick and green and make it look like how the rest of the world feels like their grass should look like. And I don't know, at some point in time, hopefully it'll just thicken up, and I'm sure eventually it will. If I continue to seed it every day or every year for however long, every rainy season for however long, like eventually it will fill out, and I'll look back in 5 years and be like, can you believe that at one point in time you didn't think you were ever going to grow any grass, and now you've got more grass than you could ever want. And I have another like house project that I really want to do, and it is like I want to wrap around my porch sort of. Right now I have a small porch that is just kind of one little section of the back of my house, and I want to make it my entire back of my house. In fact, I want it to wrap around the left side of my house and then all the way around the back. And it's not entirely undoable. It just costs money, and concrete work is expensive, and I don't know that I want to spend money on concrete work right now. I might do it next year as like a 30-year birthday present to myself. What I really would like to do is get a screened-in porch. We had a screened-in porch with a pool in Florida, and I thought that that was just the coolest thing ever. And so I would really like to do that, but I don't know if that's feasible in Missouri with snow and inclement weather and all that. Like, how possible would it be for me to have a screened-in porch? I don't know. But I could always look into it, and if it falls apart and becomes a big old mess, then whoops, it fell apart and became a big old mess. But I think it would be cool. I really liked it in Florida. Like I said, it was a total mood to just start your mornings out there. Like, it's funny, as a writer, I can imagine all these cool scenarios with reading, but like rarely do I read anything anymore. I spend all my time writing. I was like, oh man, you could just grab a good book and a nice cup of something every morning, sit on your back porch and just be like, look at the world. But we'll see. I'll at least concrete out the rest of the way. I don't know that I'll ever get around to seriously doing anything else with it, but you never know. And yeah, so gotta get good grass, gotta get a porch wrapped around, gotta stay on top of my allergies. Life throws a whole lot of stuff at you all the time, and that's not even like any of my like creative projects. That's just like boring life stuff. And so hopefully eventually I can get a little further along on my creative projects too. The next minute of Compression Man is due on the 22nd of April. And so we're getting pretty close to having that ready to go and knocked out. And then I'll have one more minute after that, and that episode will be done. I wanted to have that episode out into the world by the end of May, and that may not be entirely impossible, because as he gives me each minute, I am editing them and adding sound to them. This last minute he gave me, there wasn't really much to do, and so I've already pretty much taken care of that sound. And then we'll see what happens when this next one hits, and what sounds I need to do with that. But I think for the first like 4 minutes or so, I've got the entire sound profile like buttoned up pretty good. And so he sends me the next minute, I get that all sorted, and then he'll send me the last minute, I get all that sorted. And like if he continues the 2-week thing, it'll probably be sometime early May that I get the last minute of the next episode back. And then I still need to get an opening sequence from him. And then from there, after I get the opening sequence from him, I can, I can put the whole thing together and then get ready to launch it. And I'll start to advertise that it's gonna launch on YouTube Memorial Day or whatever day I decide for it to launch. It'll probably be Memorial Day just because it's gonna be a late May launch. Like if I don't get the last minute back until early May, and then I do all my finishing touches with it, and I'm all ready to go by mid-May, we'll say, then giving me a week of advertising should be enough time. And we'll see if it if I can advertise enough and get a crowd out there watching it. This is only episode 2. It'll probably be, like I said, it probably won't be till the end of this year that I start like very seriously trying to advertise it, because then I'll have a better episode pile built up, if you will. And so it probably won't be till the end of this year that I do like serious advertisements, but I'll at least advertise each launch as it becomes a thing. And so eventually, the more I do this, the more I am able to advertise it, because you have a backlog, and that's like, having a backlog of content is huge in today's day and age, because people can consume content in much larger quantities than they historically have ever been able to. And so if I have a large backlog of content, then I can just give people my backlog and be like, look, you've got 20 hours of Compression Man to break through. And if you're a fan, you can just bust through that in literally 20 hours. And people will do that. So it'll be forever until I get that much Compression Man built up. I would have to have like a following and be able to pay the guy a lot more money so that he could like crank it out a lot faster than he currently is. Or I would have to hire another animator to substitute what he's doing. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. If I'm the only one paying for it for however long it is, then I'll just go at our current rate. Anyway, thanks for listening to me talk about allergies, grass, and Compression Man. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.